Hi everyone, welcome to some hints about phase 2 of the retirement plan. Notice the light blue here, which says for the year ended December 31st, 2013, plan ahead decided to match employee deferrals 50% up to a 6% deferral, is the most direct reference to your phase 2 objective that we have on this page. The magenta down here at the bottom also applies to phase 2, and that recognized plan compensation cannot exceed $245,000 as far as the matching calculation is concerned. To see how those two features of the retirement plan, again the blue portion up here and the magenta portion down here, play out in an actual example, I'm going to go over to Excel here, and we've got an employee, we'll call him Ralph, who was eligible per our phase 1 calculations. As of January 1st, he earned $300,000 of compensation during the year and deferred $25,000 of his pay during the year. However, remember that the planned compensation is limited to $245,000, so let's make that amendment down here to the eligible compensation for Ralph, and also that the deferral is limited to 6% of that eligible compensation. So to do that calculation, we'll take equal 0.06 times this $245,000 limit, and we've got the maximum amount you can defer on the maximum eligible compensation being $14,700. So then you're matching the actual calculation to do the matching portion would be equal 0.5 or 50 cents on the dollar, which we would want to externalize, we'll talk about that in a second, times 14,700, or 7,350 would be Ralph's matching portion for 2013. Again, you would want to externalize some of your key calculations, like in this cell I would want to externalize the 6%, maybe put it up in a cell right here. I'd want to externalize in this cell the 50 cents on the dollar, maybe put it in a cell about here and refer to that cell rather than typing the 50 cents in the actual cell here. Some other reminders, let me go to this notes page. At the end of your phase 2, I am going to grade, hopefully, one column that covers how much each employee is going to receive in matching. So your end result, although the intermediary calculations might involve 3, 4, 5, 8 cells or columns, I want one column that I can grade at the end of the day. Your phase 2 calculation should be based on a presumed correct analysis from phase 1. If you didn't do something correctly in phase 1, either make that correction and then start phase 2, or simply use that key that I sent out via email. The actual calculation is in these 3 lines here. The matching again is 50 cents on the dollar for each dollar of deferred compensation. The limit on that deferral is 6% of your eligible compensation, and that compensation is limited to $245,000. For those employees who only qualify as of July 1st of 2013, you need only concern yourselves with the second half of the year's compensation. And I think if you look closely at the data, you'll be able to figure out how much each employee earned in the second half of the year, i.e. July 1 to December 31. Again, remember to externalize your data, those numerics that you might want to change next year. Who knows, next year the limit on deferral may be 8% instead of 6%. We want to make it as easy as possible for the next person that works with this data to be able to correct the model such that, say, 8% used instead of 6% on that maximum. Also, the first part of this hint instruction is to work outside the data. Don't do any calculations within that data set. We want to bring that 2014 data in and place it exactly where that 2013 data sits. And finally, I should be able to go into whatever Excel spreadsheet you send me for phase 2, take one of the rows in a column and autofill the rest of the column with that particular cell. This prevents somebody from gaming the system and doing everything by hand and then going in and simply creating formula that arrive at answers they've derived simply by putting pencil to paper. Good luck on phase 2. As always, let me know via the Excel discussion board area in D2L if questions arise. The best of luck.